What's good, y'all? Back at it with another video presentation. Today, man, I want to talk about this upcoming documentary that's actually coming out on Hulu called Freaknik. And Freaknik is what everybody has been talking about for the past, I think, almost 2 weeks now. And a lot of black women are in panic mode because of the shit that they've done in the 90s will come back to haunt them. And it's funny because y'all didn't have social media. All y'all really did was record shit. Record shit and, push shit on tapes and all that. Like, this was the era of, you had, physical copies of damn near everything. This was before even the CD. You had cassette tapes. I still fucking remember those. Because I'm a 2000s nigga. I remember floppy disk, Polaroid cameras. Those came back in style a couple years back. The film, all of that shit. I still remember the majority of what people used and had before social media. And so, for you to get mad that something happened on that camcorder that you clearly knew was filming your ass, I just think, you're kind of, what's the word? Unaccountable for your actions. If somebody records you, and you don't want to be filmed, can't your dumb ass just move out of the way, nigga? And it's really prevalent with black women. Do y'all know the primary function of a camera is to fucking record your ass? And that's why I think a camera itself is possibly the most, I don't want to say sneaky, but it's one of the most useful / damaging tools possibly ever invented. And if you're doing some weird shit on a camera, or if you happen to catch something that people need to see, the camera is there to witness it. It gives you eyes so that you could know what is being recorded, and you could play it back, and you could share it, and you could possibly even sell what you're sharing. That's why when porn came out, that shit was damn near all the previously recorded, adult adult scenes that, were being filmed at the time. And they just happen to just put it on the internet. And when you push it on the internet, it can never go away. Like Kim Kardashian's sex tape with Ray J. I don't care how old Kim Kardashian is, but that shit is on there for life, man. And I don't really feel bad for women that will get exposed. You have to realize, if this was the 90s, then this is the majority of all of these whores' mothers out here. These are these hoes' mothers, man. These are all the women that degrade themselves, put themselves out there for male attention, wanted to get sexually assaulted. These are all them bitches, And clearly, all of these women did not think that that shit would come back and bite them in the ass. If you did something in the 80s and that shit was filmed or prior to when cameras were invented, and then you happen to be recorded, obviously that shit is gonna leak, come out, and expose your ass. Like, you know, that's why you have these hoes nowadays that they can't get away from a camera. They can't go a day without webcamming, Snapchatting a nigga, taking photos on vacation. Women can't go a day without a fucking camera being shoved in their fucking face, cause they love all that attention. You know what I'm saying? It might not be from niggas in real actual life, but they want it online. But not to make this a long drawn out rant, but all of these black women now who have children, and majority of them grandchildren, when that shit comes out, nigga, all of you hoes will be exposed, and I'm pretty sure most of you fucking, you know, most of y'all niggas and women will look at y'all moms and grandmothers real different. Like, imagine watching that shit and then you see your mom getting fucked by 5 niggas. Imagine seeing your grandmother sucking, you know, all them niggas' dicks and shit. Like, you know. And all these old heads want to talk about, oh yeah, y'all generation is worse. Y'all generation, y'all can't, y'all can't get jobs and all that shit. And nobody wants to actually go out and pursue a career. And here's my thing. I stand by this wholeheartedly, but whatever our parents did, I feel like 9 times out of 10 is far different from what we're like in right now. I wasn't even born in the 90s. I don't even have to go back in time to actually witness all of that, like, all of that shit that is completely different right now. TV was different. There was no cancel culture. There was no internet. Basically, you could actually have a conversation with people. There was no neck beards or anything like that. Like, there were no incels, like right now. And pretty much, like, shit, life was normal. But in the circumstances when it comes to all the freaky shit that went down at parties, went down at fucking orgies, and went down at, like, universities, y'all motherfuckers had it fucking way worse than what we do now. Nowadays, if you go to a party, everybody's on their phone. Nobody's dancing, and you just have niggas mean mugging and shit. And so, actually, back in the day, everybody was having a good time. Motherfuckers fucking in the bathroom. You had girls getting trains ran on them and shit. And it's like, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. If your mom was a hoe, I'm just saying this as a generalization. I'm not saying specifically any mother that I know. But just to give an example, if your mom was a hoe and you have a daughter, where do you think she's gonna get most of her traits from? It's obviously her mother. It doesn't matter if her dad is tying her down to be a virgin. Every girl goes through the whole phase, man. And it's like, with y'all dads, it's like 9 times out of 10, you can't really stop a female, you know, in her whole face. Like, you may think she's all innocent now, but wait until she comes across the fucking campus, you know. And I think a lot of the dads, even now, when they see their daughters and they look at how many men she's married or how many relationships she's been in, they're gonna realize, yeah, my daughter might be sleeping around too much. You know, my daughter has some whole tendencies. My daughter doesn't have any fucking respect for herself. But with this Freaknik documentary, all of you women might have good jobs now, but when that shit comes out, man, I'm gonna laugh my ass off, and I'm gonna truly say that nothing is really hidden, man. Like, you can't hide anything at all, like, ever. What's in the dark will always come back to the light, bitch. Will always come back to the light, man. Always. But, you know, I don't know when that shit is gonna come out, but when it does, I'm gonna get my popcorn and I'm gonna look at all these motherfucking black women who thought that they could just get away with hoeing and shit. And there might be some niggas also, but I feel like it's primarily black women, you know. Yes, there was a bunch of niggas there, but I'm saying unless they did some zesty shit, oh man, like, shit. Then that's what I call really exposed right there. Like, you know. And I'm glad my parents were still in Africa in 1994 and they weren't in America yet. Not until another, like, fucking 4 more years later. But it's crazy, man. Like, you really can't it's like you really can't get away with anything, man. Like, if something happened back in the day, and if a nigga did make like a documentary, or if niggas were just talking about it, and it was never like put out in public, then people forget about it. But if like you actually have like a film crew, or you have a studio making a documentary about something that happened damn near, I think, 29 to 30 years ago, and people still want to watch it and see what it was like back in the day, shit, man, I truly think that, like I said, you really can't get away with damn near anything. Like, you know, let this be a lesson to you fucking hoes. You know, even with social media and everything being put up online now, if you're a hoe, god damn, man, fucking bright ass lights. Like I was saying, if you're basically like a hoe, right, and you want to get a good job in the future, good luck, bitch, because, you know, that digital footprint thing that most of these companies do when they track down, you know, what you've done as a profession, all of that shit will come back and bite you in the ass. So good luck trying to get a decent job. I mean, McDonald's might hire you, but shit. You know, that's why I say being a hoe or being just a whore, it doesn't get you anywhere in life. Sure, you may have money and all that shit, but it's like, we all know women do not know how to spend money wisely. And to top it all off, like, you'll become bankrupt and you might live on the street and be a whore one more time, you know. But with all these black women panicking, bro, it goes to show you, like, black women can't be accountable for, they can't hold accountability. And this is something that happened damn near 30 years ago, man. Like, but it also fits into the narrative that black women are the most hypersexual, sexually aggressive female that can't control herself. You know, to an extent, I think that's still true. To an extent, I mean, not every black woman is you know, a horny ass bitch that wants to fuck niggas. You have some black women out here, you know, that are decent, but I would say a good majority, like 75% of black women, you know, are horny as fuck, and they're so horny to the point where they want to force themselves on niggas and blackmail them for sex. You know, I don't know about y'all, but it seems like damn near no other race of female is seen in this light. It's mostly black women, you know, and I think it's a narrative that will never stop. And I think unless black women take themselves more seriously, you know, and I've seen some of them, but if they all together, like, say, stop seeing us in this negative light and start taking us more seriously, then I might have maybe a little bit more respect for black women. But like this documentary will prove that 30 years ago, even up until now, black women haven't really changed at all, you know. And I just think it's embarrassing that this is the majority of y'all mothers and this is the majority of y'all grandmothers, you know, thinking they could get away with this shit. But, you know, I truly think you can't really hide anything. But yeah, man, I can't wait till it's exposed and I see all these black women bitching and complaining, you know, when they're grown as fuck right now. But I'm out, man. Deuces.